Hello, people. I am just sitting out here today studying, reading, and listening to a couple other videos from some different people. And some of these people I really really respect that they are doing what is written in the Book of Rules. And I say this because the United States organization has pretty much intercepted every nation, and they have set the standard on how the intricacies of business will be run. So all of you people that are saying, well, I'm not about the United States and this and this and that, and I'm doing my own thing and I'm making my own money out in the world and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you are still using fiat and the credit system. So you are definitely working within the United States. Okay, so that's just a reality. It's just a fact. So the people that I respect for putting out this accurate information, I think that that's wonderful that they're putting it out accurately. And they're telling you to follow the instructions of the code. Because no other nations that you can relate and identify with, because you're not living over there. You don't have an address over there. You don't have a business license for over there. So you are here in the United States. All right, so we've established that. Anybody needing to argue, please just stop listening now. Okay, so beyond that, like I said, I do respect people for telling people to listen to the code, and I've already stated why. Then there is the fact that people are telling you to do things correctly from the code is wonderful. But what no one has said is the very first thing that the code starts opening up and letting you know that they work within a certain thing. Like, their entire process is about taxing you. It's the very first thing that they speak of when you open up the United States Code. They say that they are taxing you, they are taxing everyone under certain circumstances in general. Now, they also tell you, somewhere towards the bottom of that, where they're telling you how everybody's getting taxed, they tell you that somehow someone will be exempt from that. All right. And the way that you get exempt from the overall taxation, the way that you get exempt is you have to get back into your foreign category. All right. You cannot immediately get there. You just can't. Yes, I am Egyptian by blood. I keep saying that. I'm so happy to be saying that, to be able to say that. But I am not there. I am still considered a domestic corporation. So I'm a domestic corporation, technically on a recreational standpoint, but I am not foreign. I cannot be taxed. I cannot be fined, feed, and I cannot be removed from my premises. I cannot be assaulted out in the world by the policy enforcers. That's just simply because I am properly identified. Now, that identification is largely, greatly completely based on my authenticated birth certificate. So you send in, well, actually, it's just the damn birth certificate. You send in your birth certificate and get it authorized. But even though you don't even have to do that, you just go and get a passport under your birth certificate and claim not to be a U.S. person. Your mama's, your daddy's, nobody's a U.S. person. You're just not a U.S. person. And you do have to use your birth certificate name. So all of you people out there that think, I'm a Moore and I went through, all you did was form corporation. Okay, so I'm sorry that you all are coming to that realization and you think that I'm incorrect or I'm telling you something wrong because you're not getting the passport. Then you're not getting the passport because they have found you are technically incorrect somehow. One guy told me, he said, I registered my birth certificate. I changed the name on my birth certificate. I did this and I did that. Yeah, but you changed the name based on some documentation that said that you came over the hills from some other country. You didn't come over no damn hills. That country has got a whole waterway between us and them. You ain't come over no damn hills to get here. And you didn't travel by boat. Because that slave story that they told people that they shipped them here by boat, they lying. They're lying. Some people did come here. Those people know who they are. They never forgot. This is a hugely important thing. Nobody was going to allow people to kick in their doors and tell them what to do, especially back then when all the information was truly, truly out there. So the people who it truly applies to, they have never lost that knowledge and information. They are not standing around struggling. And the couple that are, maybe they just rebelled because they didn't like the satanic order. But they ain't going around telling nobody to be a Moor. I tell you that. That's a guarantee. They rebelled for a reason. Okay. Let's get on from that. So people, y'all ain't Moors. And you who are, you already know that you are. You already know that. You're not even listening. You're not even paying attention. Those of you who are confused, you think you're a Moor, but you're not really sure. You just followed the information that somebody else gave you. You read a couple of authored books and whatnot. Okay, I'm sorry that you didn't read the documented historical account of the happenings of the world from every nation's standpoint, because all of these fools have come here to this nation from another nation, and the histories that brought them here to make decisions to come here to this country, this nation, let me not say country, this nation, then those decisions are valid historical decisions. It's not, oh, I just want to do something different. No, people didn't want to do something different because naturally people were in the areas that they were celestially bound to. Like when they celestially arrived on this planet, they went to a certain area because that area was giving them celestially the nutrition and the requirements of every means that was necessary for that species, that person, that celestial unit. We do come from something more, something greater, and we are bound to those obligations and those rules. That's why you have that thing in the back of your mind they call it the conscience, and they're saying, hey, your conscience is bothering you. Your conscience is not necessarily always bothering you because you've done something bad. Sometimes your conscience is bothering you because you're not in line with the rhythm of your nature. That is a great reason why your conscience will bother you. Okay, so clinging to another nationality when you don't have exacting proof, and still finding yourself having political problems, socio-political problems, then you are legal problems. You are not treaty-based. You are following an idealism that sounds good, that makes your heart flutter. Go pitter-pat. It's not based in reality. It's not based in historical account and bloodline. Okay. I did tell people you're going to need to read. You're going to have to do that. There's no way around not doing it. Now, the reason is because I've told people to read registration documentation. Open your ECFR. In that big search box at the top there with the little magnifying glass, you want to input documentation registration. Now, When you start reading that stuff, it's going to seem as though it's talking about situations that don't concern you, situations of inanimate objects. The reason that I keep telling you that you're going to have to read and start at Title 1, Chapter 1, Subsection 1 is because those things that appear to not identify your physical being, those things that seem like they are abstract of you, those things are absolutely talking about you. Now, how it is they come about using that terminology that is so extremely abstract from your physical being situation, you're going to have to read each one of these little sections because I told you, you're going to be the bank. You're going to be the financial institution. You're going to be a brewery. You're going to be a wine cellar. You're going to be a production. You're going to be a contractor. You're going to be a manager. You're going to be a vessel. You're going to be fuel. You're going to be fish, molluscular shellfish. You're going to be, there's so many things that you are. Oh, and when I say the fish thing, let me tell you the fish thing. Okay, so this is just a little thing that it clicked in my mind. Okay, so current events now, we're hearing that whole Hollywood is trying to turn everybody into little Baphomet, which is the transgendered, which is the gay thing, right? Okay, so they've been pushing this thing in the background for a long, long, long time. And it's not that these people are gay. It's just that these people have been pretty much getting raped and molested as they were children. And then they're confused and it says something about it's like a natural force field. And I am totally not saying this correctly, so do not use these technical words. But anyway, it's like they say once that men go gay, they said there is something about their pride and their masculinity that is affected. And it totally detracts from their soul and their spirit because really, for real, they just let another man up their backside. And when you think that as a man, you're supposed to be this strong and intimidating source of protection and shield and all kinds of stuff or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't suit well in the mindset for real. That's why most people have a lot of anger issues and feeling like they're not being properly appreciated and whatnot. And that is the whole reason for all the confusion and the chaos in the mind. So anyway, now that we know that Hollywood is pushing this whole big agenda and whatnot, I had to reflect on, there was a few years ago where I was at, and this is quite a few years ago, I was at a club with my gay friend. Love him to death. He's a great person. Anyway, so he and I are at this club, and I think it was for me just like a bum kind of night. And it was like it was a gay club, and it was really, really kind of informal. You know, men are kind of informal, whatever. So anyway, we're there, and I walk across this person who really was like stunning in drag, and me, being completely unintimidated by anybody's presence under any circumstances, pretty much, I'm just like, hey, you really pulled that off well. That is, you beautiful. And so the motherfucker says to me, fish. Now, at first, I'm thinking that he was calling me, like he was making some comment about girls and if they don't keep clean that they smell like fish and all this other shit, right? So I'm really, really thinking that. Well, now my mind pretty much has grasped that I was living in Las Vegas. Las Vegas has the highest number of CIA, FBI, GSA, NSA, this thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, all the three-letter agencies, they have the highest number of these things. Now, that being because historically, when these things came to our earth, they chose the drier, more arid situations because it reminded them of their home planets that they pretty much had destroyed all vegetation and stuff on. So Las Vegas is the desert. Las Vegas is also a major energy center. So Las Vegas is one of those places that these reptile beings inhabited. So a lot of the building and stuff that is getting on there, they brought a lot of that in so they could pull people in so that they would have a food source. Anyway, so back to these people being mostly government people. So now if you're government people, you know all this terminology. So shellfish. So here it was, I'm giving this person this compliment, and this person is saying, you fucking dumb bitch who has no idea that we are definitely here to fucking dominate you, you stupid bitch. You are giving me a compliment. You are egging me. Yeah, you dumb bitch. Not even a thank you. Because definitely this person was clearly not like, oh, thanks. Like most gay people will be, like a lot of times. So, no, this person was completely like, fuck you. So I'm realizing that at that moment there, like fucking 20 years ago plus, I was like, oh shit, bitch, you just got a fucking clue. And I didn't even know I got a clue. But anyway, now, so this whole gay thing, this whole gay agenda, I'm sorry for all the people that have found themselves in this thing and you are like totally involved in your life and everything. It just really has come out that it was designed and forced upon people that they would just push them into this direction. So we all got manipulated. I think for a little while, just because I generally have a dislike towards the ignorance of males. I thought for a little while, maybe if I'm actually attracted to one and I thought that like she really was like really decent and everything, maybe I could be gay. Maybe I could do that. Anyway, it's just not a me thing. But I didn't see anything that was negative about it until I started learning what all of this is. Anyway, so, and I don't mean to offend anybody that is gay. It's just that the deception behind all of these idealisms that we surrender ourselves to is just vast and maniacal. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying now here. So, yeah, this terminology, all of this terminology, we need to know where it comes from and exactly how it relates to us, because each one of these scenarios were going to be a different something. So somebody says, well, tell me how to do the registration. And literally, beyond me telling you, hey, put an affidavit of ownership to it and take it down and put it on the record, really, you start have to going through different departments, and each department is looking for you to give them a different set of information. Like when you very first start this, you're supposed to have only a birth certificate. You're not even supposed to have a social security number, because a social security number comes along if you become a government employee. Well, none of us have become government employees, but all of us are classified as government employees, and that we have to abide by employee contracts, which is this entire United States code. And every time you violate the code, and registration, not being registered is a violation. It is illegal to not be registered. My girl is calling. Okay, so anyway, every time you violate these things of the code, then they give you, what do they call these things? Fines and fees and all this other stuff. So reading it is necessary because, like I said, your position is going to change a million different ways. And every time it changes, they're going to change that that terminology. Like, you don't know that you are considered to be wine. So you are distilled liquors. Just not liquors, you're distilled spirits. So, okay, so are you wine? Are you beer? Are you hard cider? There's probably 4 other terms. And at which point are you each one of these things? And at which point is there a trade-off where either your name change becomes necessary, or either the number that you're using to classify yourself is changing, and then you need to follow that change. You need to make sure that that change is indicated and noticed in every department, so that each department can update their system and they'll give you a new bit of information. And each little bit of information unlocks another piece of the puzzle that you need to unlock the greater part of the puzzle. Now, while you're learning all of this, don't be afraid and feel that you're going to be broke, because literally there is government obligations, which is your birth certificate, and that is a security. You can, if you are reading the proper information, you can redeem that security in the form of fiats that you transfer back and forth into your different accounts. And so you can have funding. So please just start reading. The quicker you start reading, the quicker that you will know all of these things, and the quicker you will realize that compliance with things that are ultimately meant to harm and hurt you is not necessary in your scenario of life. So, y'all handle yourselves. And I just wanted to make that a really, really quick thing. I just wanted to put that out there again, because people aren't comprehending why I'm saying that I can't tell you step by step. I cannot tell you step by step. There is a step that I have missed. It is a major step, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I have to go back and do this step. That's the geographical survey part, the map. And it's just like, you have to know. This is where I love the more, is where they've confused people. You have to know the region. You have to know the appellation of the region your wine originates from. That's where your appellation comes in. So all of these Moors that are running around here talking about my appellation is not the name change that you went down to the county and told them that, or to the whatever, to the courthouse and told them that you were going to change your name. That is not your appellation. Okay, I know why I started these videos, because I like for people to know the truth. Your appellation is based on the geological survey maps that identify your tribe's place of origin. You are described as fine wine. Not even fine wine, but wine. So, you need to know all of the intricacies about wine. All of it. So, what kind of wine are you? And you have to know these things, because there are several types of wine. And each wine has a certain type of chemical makeup. They call it the formula. Now, this is where you are intermixed as a species. Okay, so that part right there catches a lot of people up, because that's where they're telling you what your appellation is. Because you could have been born here and you might look like your mother, but maybe your mother, the mothers in your family line, maybe they had a predilection towards a certain type of man that was completely opposite of their tribe. So, how dominant is that in your species mixing? Now, that's where you need to know about appellation. That's why you need to know about the name change that you did is incorrect. And they're going to tell you how to get a proper name change in there. All right, y'all, it's almost 25 minutes now, and my girl called me, like I said, and I want to get back to her, and I want to keep reading and finding out this stuff. But y'all take a great day, or have a good day, a great day, and take some time to yourselves to meditate, and you do you. Peace.